Hello everyone, back to today's third video doing the ECMWF 42-day look ahead for today's third video. So we're going to go through mean silver pressure anomalies, 500 millibar height anomalies, temperature and precipitation anomalies for the next 42 days, 6 weeks. And it's going to take us into February, of course, so we'll see what the ECMWF is forecasting for like the middle and second part of this winter. I should get on with it for you very shortly. We haven't done this for a couple of weeks. It's had a bit of a break over Christmas and New Year, but it's back today, along with GMA Friday. That's the first video release day. That came back today, and also 10 to 14 day as well. So please check out all of the videos that we've released today if you would like to do that. We shall be live streaming at 10 o'clock tonight, around 10 past 10. We'll live stream the pub run, and we'll see what the GFS 18 has got to say. We're at ECMWF.int for this one. Big thank you to them for supplying us with these charts. It's one of the big developments of last year, wasn't it, when all of this stuff came online for everybody for the very first time, October 2020. So, yeah, big thank you to ECMWF.int for supplying these charts. Right, let's do it then. So, we're going to start with the week 1 mean silver pressure anomaly, which will take us from the 11th through to the 18th of January. So the coming week, so it's like next Monday, if you like. So next week, I suppose we should say, we'll have high pressure originating through the UK and going up to northern Europe and into like the Norwegian Sea and around Greenland. So it's still northern blocking. Low pressure is across central and eastern parts of Europe and going down to southeast Europe as well. It's low pressure in the Atlantic, very blocked, and the jet stream doing something a little bit like that. So it's trying to get a little bit milder, but probably still quite cold. We're probably still pulling in the wind generally from a northerly source. 500 millibar height anomaly confirms this. So again, got the above average heights through Western Europe extending back to this northern blocking low pressure as a trough across central eastern parts of Europe. Jet stream dinging southwards as well. So unsettled and potentially quite cold as we go into next week. Temperature anomalies look like that. It's going to be very cold across northern Europe. Look at that. Those really dark blue colours there. That's 10 temperature anomalies below, 10 degrees below average. So in the Arctic, it's going to be extremely cold indeed. You don't often see these charts going as cold as that. They're exceptionally cold there. But anyway, came back to UK, and I mean, most of Europe is cold on average. Come back to UK and Ireland. Actually, we're going to be closer to average than we have been for 2 or 3 weeks, really, since before Christmas. So still a little bit on the cold on average side, probably, except for Ireland, where it's a bit more on average. But still a little bit on the cold side there next week. And the precipitation anomaly hints at being largely drier than average, actually, for week 1. Right, that's that one done. Let's go through to week 2 then. This one generated this one, again, covering the time frame of the 18th to 25th of January. Now, this is a little bit different on what the ECM was showing when we did the 30-day look ahead with these charts on Tuesday. Now, because the model updates twice a week, on a Monday night and on a Thursday night. So at this point on Tuesday, I think we were seeing like a return of westerlies, but actually the this run of the ECM shows high pressure with mean silver pressure anomalies like sitting still around Iceland and Greenland. Low pressure looks like it's struggling to get in for the Atlantic, and the jet stream is possibly being moved southwards as well, which implies we probably continue to bring in quite cold air, I would have thought, from the north and from the east. But week 2, 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that. Definitely looks indicative of like another cold week, doesn't it? Again, high pressure around Greenland and Iceland extending back towards non-blocking. Low pressure in the Atlantic along the jet stream. You can see the jet stream will probably be pushed southwards. We will probably be bringing in like cold winds from the north and from the east as well. Week 2 temperature anomaly. I mean, it's hardly mild. It's still, it's no signal really, but it's very cold across northern Europe. Milder temperatures are actually pushed further away from us into the Atlantic. And so I wouldn't be overly surprised if this is another pretty cold week, really. Although the model does not actually show that. The week 2 precipitation anomaly from the 18th to 25th of January looking like this. So you can obviously see where the blocking is. The high pressure continues to be out to our northwest, where it's dry of an average around Greenland, Iceland into the North Atlantic, wetter to our east. So yeah, I mean, you can see where it's blocked and potentially quite cold. Week 3 is the 25th of January to 1st of February. Now, of course, the further out we go, the more unreliable it's getting. This does look as though it probably is turning milder and wetter now, with lower pressure coming in from off the Atlantic jet stream rising northwards. So after that unexpected potential colder week of week 2, week 3 looks like it's returning back to westerlies. The heights are lowering, high pressure is lowering around Greenland and Iceland. Week 3, 500 millibar height anomaly. Again, you see a weakening of the block. Still there over Greenland and back into the Arctic, but it is weakening as the lower pressure comes back in from off the Atlantic. So this definitely looks like it's probably a milder week. Heights rising through southern Europe. Temperature anomaly, I think, will go milder than average. There it is, going milder than average across most parts of Western Europe. But remember, this is pushed back by a week compared to what we saw on Tuesday. And the week 3 precipitation anomaly goes more unsettled. So the drier conditions are retreating northwards, still with the high pressure and the lower pressure coming in from the Atlantic, turning things wetter. Now, of course, there could be a transition there that might deliver some snow as that low pressure pushes into the cold air. Eventually, it looks like by the end of January, we're into something a little bit milder and wetter. Right, that's that one done. Let's go through to week 4 then. It's going to take us from the 1st to the 8th of February. What does this look like? Well, nothing really to go on, which is interesting because, again, on Tuesday, I think we had a strengthened sort of zonal signal, westerly signal for the first week of February. But now, there's nothing much to go on. There's some lower pressure through there. Looks like there's some higher pressure up there, but again, nothing really to go on at all there. Nothing to be able to draw any conclusion. Let's see if the 500 millibar height anomaly sheds any light. So that looks like it's going anticyclonic, doesn't it? Still a lot of above average heights in the Arctic region around Greenland, also extending down the western side of Europe. So that is a change, I think, on what we saw when we did the EC 30-day forecast on Tuesday. So quite what's happening there, I'm very unsure. It looks like it's more towards higher pressure, if anything. Temperature anomalies hint at being a little bit, just a little bit above average with the temperature anomaly. But again, very weak signals. And the week 4 precipitation anomaly, again, just hints at being a bit drier than average. That's a bit of a mysterious week for the first week of February. It is a change on what the model was showing on Tuesday. Right, we go out to week 5. This is the 8th to the 15th of February. Now, look at this. The high pressure begins to re-strengthen again around Greenland. How interesting. Low pressure is down to the southwest of Spain and Portugal. Possibly indicative of a negative AO, NAO type pattern. Possibly indicative of jet stream going south. Again, very weak signals. But if anything, that might be shifting back towards like a colder outlook, maybe. Week 5, 500 millibar height anomaly. Again, looks like that. So a trough of low pressure. Seen across northern and eastern parts of Europe. High pressure. It's around Greenland. So the coldest where we've had is going to be where the trough is across northern and eastern and northeastern Europe. But nevertheless, you know, it's 5 weeks away. It's a big change on what the model was showing on Tuesday, Monday night and Tuesday. So we'll see where that goes. Temperature anomalies hint at becoming a little bit colder. Again, if anything, cold of Scandinavia, possibly hint at going a little bit colder close to the UK as well. And a precipitation anomaly, you wouldn't expect much of a signal with this, I don't think, and indeed there is no real signal. And then lastly, we get to week 6, which is going to take us from the 15th to the 22nd of February. This is ultra long range forecasting, so this is what model is showing into the middle of February. This is how the mean cell pressure anomaly looks. Again, no particular signal. Very, very weak signals there. Nothing ready to go on at all for week 6. So week 6, 500 millibar height anomaly. probably suggests something a bit milder this time, with higher pressure over into the south country will probably bring up more of a southwesterly or westerly type flow. You expect the temperature anomaly to be going milder here. Week 6 temperature anomaly just hits being a little bit milder than average, and the week 6 precipitation anomaly looks like that, going driving average to our south. So yeah, it's a very interesting run from ECM today, extended model. It is a big change on what we've been seeing with this model over the past few days. Whilst we haven't done an update with the ECMWF extended model for a couple of weeks, I have been keeping a close eye on it, and the general idea has always been for like milder weather late January and into February. This is a bit of a change on that. It's not going for anything particularly cold late January and into February, but the hints are there, but it's wobbling on the milder idea. And whilst it hasn't yet swung into a particularly cold sort of late January and February period, you know, it's clearly changing a little bit on what it's been showing over previous days. So again, it remains quite interesting. It might be that beginning to pick up on the sun stratospheric warming that has taken place. Generally, after you have a sun stratospheric warming, that the models will begin to work out what the impacts of that could be. So until you get a sun stratospheric warming, they don't really see it, or the impacts tend to be after the stratospheric warming reverse of zone winds has occurred, that the models will start to, you know, latch on to the idea of what the impacts of that could be. And like into February, that is when you'd expect the impacts of a sun stratospheric warming occurring in January, really. So yeah, very interesting outlook. We're probably wobbling on the idea of turning milder through the second half of winter now, although it is not showing anything desperately cold second half of winter either. I think it remains a case that we need to watch this space. Right, that's that one done. So we're going to be live streaming our 10 o'clock tonight. So I shall see you then. We'll check in, have a bit of a laugh on this Friday night, and yeah, I shall see you after 10 o'clock. For this one though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.